All right, Wednesday wrap-up, 1-8, and marker.
Hey, I'm Rebecca Gordon.
I'm Sylvia Gordon. We're going to be talking about FEMA weather-related disasters. It's a little dry, but you need to know it, so stay tuned.
All right, so we've had several natural disasters this year. And how does that work with your AEP and SEP? How does natural disasters have an impact on you?
So what is the website that they're going to go to see if you have clients in an area where they would potentially have an SEP?
It's called FEMA, FEMA.gov/disasters.
Okay, so here's the site, and this is going to list all the SEPs, all the impacted counties where they would have an SEP. So it's a lot.
So this is interesting. Like, I would not have known a tropical storm, Michael.
Yeah, Alaska.
For Alaska.
Keep going. There's a whole bunch of these. So can you go to the other slide and scroll by counties? And
this was interesting. We said this last week, but I think it's important to recap that I might not be involved. I might not be living in Alaska during Tropical Storm Michael. But my sister, who gives me all of my advice on my healthcare, does. I would have an SEP because the natural disaster impact on her had an impact on me.
Because I couldn't help my sister.
Because she couldn't help me.
Right?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I just had a client, her 90-year-old sister lives up here, and she lives in Miami, and she does everything for her sister.
Did we have a natural disaster in Indiana?
No, but I'm saying, a lot of, I'm saying this is legit.
Right, when people are...
She handles everything for her sister. If her sister was affected by Hurricane Dorian, which she is in an impacted county, this lady in Indiana would have an SEP, even though she lives in Indiana.
Right.
Because her sister has POA, and you don't have to have power of attorney, but she actually does. So it sounds kind of like a sham, like they're trying to get over the system. But that's legit.
It makes sense.
You can see that scenario. Yeah. This client in Indiana would deserve an SEP because her sister could not help her.
Well, let's talk about Hurricane Dorian.
So we're scrolling back here. So we had North Carolina, all the impacted counties of Hurricane Dorian, South Carolina, and of course Florida, and I think Georgia too.
I mean, golly, it could have been also
I don't know where
the coast.
Go that way. Yeah,
I don't know how far off the coast it went.
So yeah, it is Georgia. Oh, only those counties, and then of course all these counties in Florida.
How do you enroll somebody?
So if you're doing a paper app, it's easy. You will take and use the code SEP.
And then put Hurricane Dorian.
Hurricane Dorian.
You would list the natural disaster.
Whatever one it was, like you said, Tropical Storm Michael.
What if you're trying to do an e-app?
So everybody's e-apps, clearly they don't have that ability. So ask us in the comments and we'll tell you whatever carrier you want to know how to use it with that carrier.
So when can you use an SEP? They have something that's called like the incident SEP. What does that mean?
So the incident period is a full 4 months after the incident. So if the incident, let's say the wildfire impacted your
September
county,
1st.
Okay, well, let's say August 1st.
Okay, August 1st.
August 1st. So they have 4 full months that they can use that SEP. So this is from FEMA's website. Remember, you can only use this special election period after December 7th to make a choice for the fall open enrollment period if the incident period started between August 1st and December 7th. Yeah. So we're talking, it's 4 full months after the incident, the hurricane, the typhoon, the wildfire, the flood, whatever, it was a FEMA declared disaster. But the best part about it is, and it wasn't always this way, is
agents now can get commission on this business. And that's where we give a big woohoo to NAHU. Because it didn't used to always be like this. CMS enrolled the person. They kept the commission, if CMS takes commission. And NAHU fought for that. And they fought for all the hardworking agents and our 50 million beneficiaries. So if you're not a member of NAHU, dear God, join.
We're going to try to shame you every week into joining. And we have invited Janet Troutwine from the national office to be on our show. And so we want to get membership up. We can really impress her that you guys have joined.
Raise awareness. That's what we're doing.
Because what it used to be is your client would call you and said, hey, I don't have any proof of documentation. I'm living in a hotel. I missed an AEP. My drugs are no longer covered. Help me change. And the agent would just have to help them sit there and three-way dial Medicare and let Medicare enroll them in a plan. After the agent's done the legwork,
Right.
researched what would be the best option, and then the agent was not
And the
compensated
client's going
for his
to
work.
continue to come back to that agent for all questions throughout that year.
And the agent was
So,
not compensated.
Was not
so
right.
that was clearly unjust, and that has been rectified.
So thank you, Nahu.
The thing is, we're talking about an SEP right now, and it's also OEP, because we're in January. And I don't want people to mess these things up in their head. During an SEP, they can change Part D to Part D. During OEP, you can't change a Part D to Part D. So if you
only do
put the wrong
MA.
election period on there, it's going to get kicked out. So you want to make sure you're using the right election period, and don't go, oh well, it's OEP. Who cares?
Just check a box.
Yeah, it's got to say SEP and have a valid FEMA disaster in that county. Now remember, you don't have to live there. The carriers are still going to ask you for proof that you did live there. Every carrier is going to want proof.
But you don't have to provide
But
it.
if you don't have it because it was all burned up or flooded
Right.
or whatever, you can just make an attestation that you live there.
Right.
And again, the other one would be that you never lived there. Your stuff's not burned up, but your family member or whoever, doesn't have
Your
to be a family member,
confidant.
whoever helps you was no longer able to help you.
Let's take the question of the week. So this is where agents like to email us questions that they've either been asked or they find interesting. The question that we have this week is, which carrier has the best agent service?
Right. So give a shout out to whoever really did a great job for you during AEP, because we all love to complain. That's human nature.
Everybody
And
complains.
we all know who had terrible customer service.
Let's praise those that knocked it out of the park.
So go into the comments and say who did a great job, they were easy to get a hold of, they answered their phones.
I bet we'll get more sponsorship money if we announce who that carrier
Yeah,
is.
if we say so. Yeah, it's an informal poll. Tell us
Tell
who
us.
did a good job. Let's
Yeah.
give credit where credit's
Yeah,
due.
that's awesome.
Happy OEP. We'll be back next week. See you next
OEP.
Wednesday.
Good telling.